I had an internet outage this morning, so slightly behind. Catching up fast. Probably the cats did it, because after all the troubleshooting, like nothing was an issue. Just a reboot. All right, we got 19 minutes until the open. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Make sure I got a good microphone connection here. Okay, good. All right, good morning, everybody. Let's go over the market here. We've got 18 minutes until the market opens. And looks like gold is sideways, a little bit above yesterday's low, but pretty much within yesterday's range. So gold consolidating a bit today and overnight. And we have oil, which rose to about 103 yesterday, back down to about 100, sitting now about and energy along with it, XLE energy, sitting near the lows of yesterday's trading range. And the VIX currently rising a little bit. Yesterday hit 33.81 at the close. Currently down in after hours, and then in pre-market rising again to 32. Currently around 32 on the VIX. Totally uninvestable and certainly not swing tradable climate. When the VIX is above 25, it typically is not swing tradable. When it's over 30, forget it. But this can be a good time when the VIX gets very elevated for you to buy 6-month out puts on the VIX. So the next time it's down underneath 20, you can sell those at a profit and then buy some VIX calls with the profits. And just do round robin. And the next time VIX gets up above 30, sell those calls, buy the VIX puts, and just keep going back and forth. But in general, you do want to keep some VIX calls in your portfolio at all times, just to pad to hedge your portfolio against market drops. Never know if 30 could turn to 60. It happens. Out of every 50 VIX spikes is a big one. So anyway, growth, the Qs, for example, or SPY-G growth is down and below yesterday's low and close right now. So that's not boding well for today. In fact, yes, we are now in new fresh right now at new fresh lows for, well, let me get an I want to say 52 weeks for a year, but it may not. Let's see. Next month it'll be year lows. But actually today, it looks like if we break this level and we go down from here, that, oh, and it's really nearby. We could even break it before the market opens. That would be a pivot low last seen May 12th last year. And it would drop us to definitely 52-week lows. And we'd start to run into a range from March of last year. We'll be at March of last year. We're just about there. We're a point away from being at last year's March prices. That's a huge 1 year rollback on the stock market, especially on growth. Growth getting hit probably the hardest. Dow Industrials, they're not even at a 2-month low. So they're hanging in there pretty good. And then if they were to break, then they would be back at March of last year's lows. But the Dow's hanging in there, industrials hanging in there, and S&P 500 is in a little bit of better shape, just slightly lagging behind growth. But in general, the S&P 500 suffering as well, but not as bad as growth. Let's see if there's anything I missed. Bitcoin has been following the growth pivot points. So bear market on Bitcoin, short term, medium term, bear market on crypto. And I want to see if XLF financials continue to mark down in price. They have not been doing well since they broke pivot on January 21st. So financials went into at least a sideways trend, but then they finally confirmed downtrend. January 21st finally confirmed downtrend on March 7th. So financials are in a slight grinding downtrend, and you could actually consider getting back into those once this market bottoms and turns around, because they're not as weak as any of the other sectors, but they're definitely giving you some discounted pricings. All right, we've got 12 minutes before the open. And the outlook, in my opinion, today is, it's just really two ways it could go. We could fake down and then rip up. And I do believe that would be temporary, but for the day. Or we could break down and continue to just bleed red all day. And that would be broad market decline. Or right at the open, we just go up. We won't even fake down. We'll just be going up. And or it could go up, fake you out, and then drop and go red on the day at some point. So the propensity here is about a 70% chance to the downside. So if the reward versus risk side of things you should be thinking about is short. You should be finding things to short that are being affected by all of this. Anything that's was heavily down yesterday or in the last 5 days is probably going to continue to be a good candidate for shorting. But QQQ, the growth segment, is also one you can attack. QQQ, because it's moving more than SPY, more than the S&P 500. Rotislav, welcome, buddy. All right, let's take a look at some individual stocks here. Right now on our radar for momentum this morning, we've got COSM, which at this level looks like a potential entry area of 242. And then it seems to want to spike and try and get over $3. So you could plant some seeds here, day traders, on COSM. We'll also keep an eye on CYN, Redbox, and BRQS from yesterday, and NUTX, which is moving up slightly this morning. has potential to go retest yesterday's highs. It's at almost $10 right now, and yesterday's high is $14. So that's a good 40% of range on NUTX. Definitely keep your eye on that. If it does do that, then that's going to provide a lot of return. And VIVK and CLBS. So these are what we were watching for momentum movers this morning. Oh, is something wrong with the sound? Rotislav says there's something wrong with the sound. Is anybody else getting unclear sound? My mic being funny? Nope, it's all clear. Okay, it's just you. Rostislav. Rostislav. I'll just call you Rasta. All right, so we've got 8 minutes approximately before the open. Good morning, Soul Funk. AFIB. Okay, that's a pre-market mover. Alex says Spotify is bleeding after earnings. Okay, so that could be a good short candidate today. SPOT. It is up. Not much. No, there's nothing really there for T-Mobile. No, nothing really there either. But Spotify going short on that. Wait 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes for the open to go by, and then see if it continues down from there, breaking lows, and then go short. And then, but with the plan and the intention of being somewhat small, to add either at the close today or tomorrow on continuation, and that could turn into a month-long or 2-month-long short. So plan ahead. AFIB up. Oh, I already have it up. Yeah, bottom right there. Yeah, what did you want to know about Lucid? It's running this morning. Okay, Lucid's not up any more than it's done in even a day. Nothing exciting there. Maybe if it starts breaking over a couple of these prior highs here, around $20, it'll be interesting. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't hold your breath, and also wouldn't do anything with it unless you can get above the 21 moving average at least, to say nothing of the 50, to say nothing of the 200. I mean, so anyway, very dead. Netflix, what about it? Didn't hold 200 yesterday, right? Yep, that's been a short for a while now. It was a short on the day of, short continuation next day, and continues to hold short Netflix. Can you check Tilray, please? PayPal before earnings. Oh, geez. So PayPal has been skidding back and forth between profitability and non-profitability. That's not a company to invest in. It's just going to get worse and worse from here. Whether or not they're profitable this quarter or not, that remains to be seen. At some point, PayPal's going to eventually be worth something, but losing eBay was pretty huge. They're just PayPal now. You know what I mean? It's a huge difference, because now there's also Venmo and Cash App and you name it, and Zelle. You can, like, digital transference of money is like what makes PayPal special. I mean, it had that partnership with eBay that was huge. and that's kind of like over for PayPal. It's like what's going to be like a $20 stock, you know. UVIXI is, I believe, the VIX either in reverse or leveraged. Short-term VIX ETF. It's not a stock. It's the VIX. Go read up on the VIX, Alex, on the internet. VIX. What is the VIX? It's like, what is the matrix? Tilray, nothing going on there. Whoever just asked about that. Looks like it's gonna continue to make new lows, as it's been doing for a year and a half now. Apple says, what did you say here? Apple News says Biden seeks to get justice on TikTok. Okay. And Square Block, yeah, same situation. They're also very bearish. And it'll be an interesting moment, you know, where their low is, we don't know. But they are in sore shape right now. Next week, I think, is earnings. Yeah, I think earnings is next week, and we'll know more at that time. All right, we've got 3 minutes until the open. NUTX holding up well. AFIB, maybe it'll turn up and it'll break 144 and then break 150. If AFIB can break 150, maybe it'll run to 175, $2, 190. Try to test $2. It's not acting super strong, but it's holding a little bit better than, say, CLBS. And COSM also looks strong, even though it's really going to give you a run for the money. It's all over the map. We'll keep an eye on CYN and Redbox and BRQS because they've been hot lately. Domino's Pizza, sounds like you're probably invested in that. And down. Yeah, it looks down. Looks bad. Nothing's really going to look good until this market bottoms. So unless something's going up, just consider it bad. Oh yeah, Sky High, that's another one. Sky H. That's another one that's been all over the map. Maybe Sky H will move today. Down in this corner over here. No potential short squeezes in my forecast. Those will show themselves every morning. Tesla moving from 880 to 900 right now. So good movement from Tesla. Last 10 minutes, 20 minutes. All right, we got 40 seconds until the market opens. Becca and Cameron, let me know if anything pops up that I don't already have on my radar. Yep, I think we pretty much covered everything. Let's see what happens here. 10 seconds. It may. I already talked about that. COSM can get over 250. You might be able to get in that. COSM, COSM. And Forge also, we should be keeping an eye on that. COSM just can't get above 250, but if it can, that might be a good trade. COSM. Yeah, we already looked at Lucid. I mean, that's really nothing special. It moves around a lot. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Bill Hang? No. Wang. Ah, okay. No. Apple is really moving this morning. It's definitely just got over a pivot. It's really taken off. Really taken off. It got over 156.36 and it's already at 157.70. It's $1.50 in just a few moments. NUTX is about to break out. 980, 995. If you can break 10, I would wait for it. Wait for it to break 10 or plant some seeds down here in the lower 960s and 950s. NUTX and Apple and Tesla both moving up strongly. Tesla's now at 910 and was at 880 before the open. Moving up pretty fast. Lucid's on its own trajectory, you know. You can't really compare it to Tesla. It has all different moving parts to its business. Can't make any prediction there, one versus the other. Profits come from operations and margins and revenues. Just you can't compare them. All right, Tesla continuing to run, guys. So that's a good trade. And Apple. Let's take a look at how the market is going. Yeah, growth definitely popping this morning. And withdrawals out of XLP and XLU defensives and being put into growth. NUTX just failed out. NUTX. COSM just couldn't break that 250 level and went the other way. So those are both non-triggers and non-trades. Max says, NKTX, who's it? Rebecca. I've got you on co-host, so we don't miss any of those alerts. NKTX, let's see. Well, it was. Now it's back down. Yeah. Failed out. Yeah, gotcha. Verizon. Okay. I mean, is that Verizon? Visa. Wow. Visa was up big there, Mac, but whew, what a pullback. And it's really not that much movement, percentage wise. Viv K, yeah, start to make its moves. Pretty all over the map on Viv. We're already monitoring it. I got in this AMR yesterday. Don't remember if that was an alert or not. Now it's hitting my double up point, so I'm going to go AMR. Tesla at 912, Apple at 157.38, pulled back a little bit off of those highs there around 158, but it's doing well. So the question is this a liquidity trap? Is this a fake out? And then are we going to go midday and test lows and break down and end the day bleeding red in panic? It's definitely a possibility. It's there. It's out there as a possibility. That's not always a possibility, but that is a possibility. So therefore, it could happen. Tesla at 917 almost, and Apple back up to 157.85. Looks like it's going to continue to break and run. We are pushing through and rallying through this pullback. The VIX remains elevated at 31-ish. Healthcare not doing too well today. Utilities and consumer staples down today, likely because that's just a little bit of rotation into growth. There's some rotating into growth going on today. Value's going down, growth's going up. That's a rotation. Taking from one, putting in the other. All right, Rebecca, you can come on mic at any time if possible, so we don't miss those alerts. Swivel. Okay, so swivel, yep, running right now. Started to break from 650, and it's almost at 7. That's a lot of movement. If it can break 7, there may be a trade there. This is retracement territory, so it could get rough and met with a lot of bag holders selling it down. If the demand comes in, might range all the way up to 8, 7. Possibility. Regeneron is up 25 points on earnings. So you can get like calls on Regeneron or go long. And then however it progresses by the end of the day, you could add to that. And then tomorrow, if it continues and breaks today's high, you can add some more, hold, give it some buffer, some wiggle room, and then potentially hold that for days, weeks, or even months. CYN is popping. CYN. Ooh, it's all the way up to breaking over 4. Let's take a look at that on the daily chart here. Oh yeah, it's up and over yesterday's high. That really moved from, that's why we're keeping that on watch. It moved from 3.25 all the way to 4. Here goes CYN again. The Qs just broke pre-market highs. So growth. Excellent move from the Qs, indicating that this is the bottom. That was the bottom yesterday. You know, and the VIX was sort of saying that as well. Getting some movement on red box as well. CYN just hit 425. Fidelity is going to allow them to add Bitcoin to the 401ks. Huh, interesting. Okay, Mac. Guys, I'll be right back. Keep an eye on CYN. Here goes SPY. SPY is breaking over pre-market highs as well. Apple about to break the pre-market high of 158.50. Apple looking like one of the best bets right now. Be right back. Okay. Uh, Oh, all right, we're back where we were. Fine. All right, CYN pulling off of that high of 425, back down to 375. Oh yeah, remember CRXT and what's happening with that? Let's see. Yeah, not much. Consolidating. All right, let's take a look at Apple again. Apple just having a very good day at the moment, leading the way. Ooh, there was a very nice move from Apple. Waste management crossing up. Ooh, that does look like a good intraday activity. High projected volume. This is post earnings. Looking good. Waste management looks like it could be a good swing trade. So I'll post it to the group. Not a swing 100, by the way. AMR is really moving up today. I'm going to size up some more.
NUTX is going again.
NUTX, NUTX, guys, is starting to run again, starting to pop again. Yeah, let's see if it can break over 10. Last time it spiked almost to 11. There it goes into a halt. NUTX, NUTX, about to halt at 1050. 1030, 1036, pulling back underneath the halt level. 1050. The halt level is going to be higher now. So if we can break through 1050, then maybe we'll get up to the halt level, which is 1075-ish. A lot of volatility going from 1050 to 10. With that high level of volatility, you don't want to have a large risk. You want to have a low risk on something like that. My thinkorswim is acting so slow. So slow. Okay, NUTX is pulled down underneath 10. It's now back to 950. It's a good spot to potentially get in if you haven't gotten in. Is CYN still a buy? It's leveling out here just underneath 4, which is a good sign. It's holding at VWAP. But it will need to, some people will need to sell if there's not enough shares of liquidity in order to give to those who want to buy. So there probably will be a lot of patty cake going on here to try to get the price back up, and eventually enough shares will have switched hands that a new level will be achieved. And then when those people get chicken and they take their profits, it will dip down again, and the cycle repeats. So CYN, a bit of a patty cake type of trade. Apple on pullback right now. Tesla's pulling back quite a bit harder than Apple. Apple putting in sort of a head and shoulders pattern. So this could be the top on Apple. All right, later. No, it's not a crash. Crashes if it moves more than 7%, if the market drops more than 7% in one day. It's about the speed. We're already in a crash, if you want to think of it that way. It's just that it's been very slow. It started in November. But no, this is called a correction. You know, Google's earnings came in, they like poor, worse than expected. And I don't know, that's not a good sign. I don't like that. So I'm surprised that growth is doing fine. This could be quite fake. Bottom here. And it also could signal that tech is dying in some way. You know what I'm saying? Like the old models are not holding up. And so that could cause a huge deflation, like historic, unprecedented, never seen before. Well, almost never seen before. We had the dot-com bubble. There's a lot of potential. Yeah, I know about the 4% buyback. Yeah. But there's a lot of potential for the market to go down. And we already know that markets always go up because otherwise you would economy living in the dying times. So, but the downside risk is definitely there. It's real. CYN starting to fail out now. Looks like, at least. Anybody else got AMR with me? Visa after earnings. Yeah, we were looking at that. Now on the daily chart, it looks like it doesn't want to push. It had a little spike at the open and then pulled back. And so, yeah. But by the way, it doesn't really provide very much of a return. It certainly doesn't beat inflation. Not necessarily a good investment. You can get more out of a treasury bond. Why would you invest in anything that doesn't return more than 10% a year if you can get a treasury bond right now for 10%? They're basically hitting 10% right now. Get a 30-year treasury bond on your money for 10% a year, paid out every 6 months. Ah, cool, Mark. Nice. Yeah, Rebecca. I believe I put an alert on AMR yesterday. I just called it out. Let me see. No, AMR, yeah. Yesterday at noon. All right, Mark. Hopefully you're sizing up properly like Swing 100 tells you. That's coal in the energy sector, which is full exposure, I think. Double checking right now. I guess it's about half exposure. Half to quarter. Actually, it's not full exposure. CYN just crapped out. Hitting 3.6. All right, Mark. Looks like AMR is in a pullback moment right now. Let's see. Checking if there's any other opportunities on the radar this morning. ALKS. Let's see. CYN turned out to be the one that probably moved the most. NUTX not really happening. VivK trying. COSM failed out. I'm getting different numbers on earnings on TradingView than I am from MarketSmith. MarketSmith. Still, it probably will not provide the return that we like, which is over 1% per day. Skip that one. Apple looks like it's head and shouldering on the day. This could be the top of the market. Certainly, if we break down this pivot on Apple at 157.10, we get below 157, we're going to go test lows on the day. And you know what that means. We're probably going to go red. We'll take a look at the Qs. Yep. It's a trap, I think. It's a good opportunity. It doesn't come up very often, so market makers, if they can test lows in a situation like this, they can make a lot of money off of it. It's just out there for the taking. Have to take advantage of it. Look at mass volume that has gone into the Tesla drop at a long-term chart. Okay. Yes, that was a big sell-off yesterday on high volume. That's typically a signal, and it closed below the 200. That's a signal that we're going down further, typically. Zach says, what you thinking about? Think out loud, please. Funny, too funny. All right, if nothing shapes up soon here, then we'll go into the group mode and cut the live stream. And remember to be short biased today. Market is bearish and right around testing levels. Apple breaks that 157 point. It's a good trade. You could attempt to short it, Apple. And it's right there right now, 157.07. This is pretty much it on Apple, the teetering point. If it can't hold this level, it's probably going to go test lows. And if we're going to test lows after we already went up, we're probably going to break lows. There's a decent short trade there waiting for you. Right here, as Apple cannot hold 157. The risk is that it goes the other way. You don't want to load up such that you lose more than 1% of your portfolio on any kind of day, any kind of trade. So figure out where you get out before you get in if you're wrong. And in my opinion, that's at 157.65. maybe 157.85. So calculate 1% of risk up to there, about 80 cents from where we're at right now, and then go short that allocation. Jeez. How'd you do that? Were you in before the pop on Gedaliag? Gedaliag says they made $80,000 on VivK. I don't know if that's fake money or real money. It doesn't matter to me. I'm curious to see what that situation was. I think probably they were in it for a while and then it popped. Yes, Carl. Hey, welcome. That's the best part about you, Evan, teaching how to get out before you get in. Yeah, man. Most don't teach that, you said. Yeah, most don't know that, you know? Like, you can get a Lambo, but can you keep it? That's the important thing. Go from one Lambo to 3 Lambos, then from 4 Lambos to nothing pretty fast. It's easy to be that one lucky guy. Yeah. So there's Apple. Look, you guys are already making money now on the Apple short. The 157 breakdown. It's going to go test 155.50. Right around there, probably bounce around a little bit. So, that's the move. Want to be short. Okay, guys, let's continue in the group. You're all welcome to go hang out in the Trader Lounge, live Trader Lounge, on webcam or sharing your screens, trading with each other. Buddy trade. It's always the best way to go. You can all watch each other trade. Go into the Trader Lounge, the live Trader Lounge. All right. I'll catch you guys in there, in the group. I'm going to take my first break right now and have some breakfast while the market is slow. Remember, be short biased today, short biased. Please send me Trader Lounge. Carl, what do you mean? In the group. It's in there. It's on the left in the channels, live Trader Lounge.